APC and who is close to President Tinubu, and President Tinubu respects him. So he pleaded with Bisi Akande to plead with the president not to fire him. So Bisi Akande went to meet with the president. After, listening to Bisi Akande, the president now said, okay, now decided to leave Ganduje in charge. But after that time, there have been series of issues that have been arising in relation to corruption, and that this one that happened lately in this Buhari area council APC primaries was now like another recent event, and he got really upset by it. So then the Daily Nigerian also went on to say that there were other issues, the other things that could also have affected Ganduje. That before, that there were people that were in Ganduje's camp, people who were supporting him. That one of them is the chairman of the APC, of the Progressive Governors Forum, that is the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. That Hope Uzodinma was one of those that when the president wanted to remove Ganduje, he was one of those that stood by Ganduje, But that lately, that some of the primaries that have been done, like the primaries that were done in Anambra State, for the governorship election, and other things happening in the southeast, that Hope Uzodinma didn't like what Ganduje was doing, that Ganduje was selfish and was unnecessarily interfering in the southeast APC politics, which Hope Uzodinma didn't like. And as such, this time around, when this issue came up, that he has corruption allegations, that Hope Uzodinma didn't stand by him this time around. Rather, he was one of those that went to convey the message that your time is up. Another issue they said was that the SGF, Secretary to the Federal Government, George Akume, was also an ally of Ganduje. I know that in Benue State, there's this issue between the governor and the governor of Benue State, Father Alia, and the SGF, that in that dispute, that Ganduje was initially on the side of the SGF against the governor. But later, Ganduje switched sides for whatever reason. And when he switched side now, that the SGF was not happy with that. So that two of the key people that would have pleaded with the president, the SGF and the chairman of the Progressive Governor Forum, that they are both upset with Ganduje. So then Daily Nigerian also mentioned about 2018, So that's where we'll come back to Jaffa. Jaffa is a Nigerian journalist who studied mass communication in BUK, in Kano, BSc, MSc, Then now started working for Daily Trust. First worked for Daily Trust. Then after working for Daily Trust, it was while he was working for Daily Trust that Kwankwaso won election to be governor for the second time in Kano. And he was governor again from 2011 to 2015. So Kwankwaso picked Jaffa to be his special assistant on media and publicity. So he was special assistant on media and public relations. But after 2015, when Kwankwaso finished his term, Jaffa went back to his journalism. He worked with Premium Times for some time. Then he now established his own media organization, which is Daily Nigerian. So it was while he was working with his own firm as the editor-in-chief of Daily Nigerian. At that time, This time, Kwankwaso has left as governor, and that is why he has also left government to the private sector, and he's a journalist, and when he was working with Kwankwaso, he was his PRO. I know usually media personnel, people who work in the media space, are usually picked as a spokesperson. And so, when he was working with as editor-in-chief in Daily Nigerian, that now Ganduje was governor during his first term, that there were a number of contractors that were complaining that Governor Ganduje used to collect bribe from them, and that sometimes he collects bribe up to 30% of what they will get from the contract, for the construction or road contract and all that, up to 30%. So one of the contractors is a friend to Jaffa, and he was complaining to Jaffa that Governor Ganduje used to collect bribe from them. So Jaffa said that's a weighty allegation, and that as a journalist, he cannot just go and publish such allegation without some evidence. So when he now said that, the contractor, who is a friend of his, now said, okay, let's try and get evidence. So from around that 2016 to 2018, for a 10-month period, the contractor was wearing camera on his kaftan. They will put spy camera on his wear, so that when he goes to Ganduje's residence, Governor Ganduje's residence, to give him, they were bribing him in dollars. So when he goes to the Ganduje's residence to bribe him, the camera on the kaftan will now be recording it. So that's how they made like 16 video clips over several months. Some of the videos were not clear. You couldn't really see, it wasn't clear who, Ganduje was not in the clip clearly, And so they had to work for over 10 months and get clear videos that showed Governor Ganduje collecting a bribe from a contractor, collecting dollars, And so, after all that lengthy investigation, Jaffa now made a blockbuster report in his Daily Nigerian, breaking news that Governor Ganduje collects bribes from contractors. And to back his claim, he now released videos of Ganduje collecting the dollars, putting in his babariga, like that. So he released those videos, and the thing was, at that time, Ganduje was elected 2015, right? 2019, Ganduje was going for re-election to be re-elected as governor. And this report was released October 2018. October 2018. So it was around that time when they were making plans to, preparing for election, And Jaffa is a journalist, is a qualified, reputable journalist who has worked with media agencies before he set up his own company. But he had worked as a spokesperson for Kwankwaso, And Kwankwaso at this time already fallen out with Ganduje. Ganduje and Kwankwaso are being rivals, are now bitter rivals. So when the report came out, Ganduje was able to now use the fact that Jaffa worked with Kwankwaso to now say, this is my enemies at work. He claimed that the videos are not real, that the videos were doctored, and that the person who published them used to work for Kwankwaso. So these ones will be the enemies, the Kwankwasia camp that against him and all that. And he was able to push that narrative. But the videos were real. Because Jaffa, apart from getting the videos, he also sent it to Premium Times, to Amnesty International, to BBC, to other reputable news agencies to